Oh, the leaded window opened to move the dancing candle flame, and the first moths of summer suicidal came. Oh, suicidal came. Well, that's what I'm experiencing. Not the first moths of summer, the first moths, but the masses of daddy longlegs, crane flies, which come out in August mostly, and they emerge from those big grubs that you might find when you're digging. I've obviously discovered quite a lot of them in my time, and I think they only come out like biannually en masse. They kind of skip a year. I'm not sure why that is, and I'm not even sure whether that's totally correct, but you see them all every year, but there's a great deal more every other year, in my experience. And those of you who are quite observant might have realised that the thing that where my finger is now, that's a little corner where there's a spider living, and I don't do any housework, of course, not that sort of, very, very rarely anyway. And that is an accumulation of daddy longlegs that have been caught in that particular web. And there are more webs, of course, around the room. And oh, that's my kettle. And just let me finish. Because I only light up this place with candles, you can imagine, insects, flames. The two don't mix very well. Excuse me. And yes, and Ian Anderson always conjured up like a pastoral image of leaded windows in quaint country cottages, whatever. And I actually have a leaded window in here, but it's plastic, and the lead, I think it is lead, but it's stuck on to the panes. It's fake bullshit. Just like the spinning ball, which is fake cartoon nonsense. So if you haven't worked that out for yourself, do so, because that's the only way you'll ever get it. I can say it's not a ball, it's not a ball, it's not a ball, it's not a ball, all bloody day long, but it's up to the individual person to look at it for themselves. I said that word person again. It's up to the individual man or woman to find that information out for themselves. And then, because people can tell you all sorts of things, but don't believe them. Don't believe me, don't believe anybody. Find it out for yourself. That is the fundamental message that has to go with, well, anything really, any fact, any objective reality has to be discovered by the observer, in my opinion. There we go. Now, I just want to say all the best to Des. Funnily enough, I never really watched much of Des. I just saw him on Beyond the Imaginary Curve, and you see, I can't watch everybody. I wish I could, and I know I would enjoy whatever content he has. I know I would, because I like the fella. And anyway, all the best to you, man. I'm sure you'll get through it, because it's up here where it matters, and I'm sure you'll have a great deal of support. Yeah. Right, I was thinking, as I do, well, right now, a lot of the main donkey work, as I call it, spade work, has been done. I've got a little bit more to do here and there, but that frees your mind. It frees my mind when it's just monotonous, So that allows me to go down all sorts of avenues, and it's really good. I enjoy it. And people say, I don't know how you can face digging all that, but you see, you're free. Your mind's free to do whatever it likes while you're doing something that doesn't take any brain power. But now I am into measuring and cutting and all that. So and I have to think ahead all the time. Although I've got a basic outline in my head of what I'm doing, I still have to concentrate at the moment when I am actually working. So, but a while ago, I did think of this, and it is quite some time ago now, and I don't know whether I've ever spoken about it, but I would say 20, 30 years ago, perhaps. Yeah, probably 30 years ago now. If you said, "Ooh, look, a UFO, an unidentified flying object," or if you mentioned aliens or saw an alien walking down the street, you'd have been laughed at. People would have thought you're a bit strange or a lot strange, depending on the person you're telling, the people you tell. And nowadays, it's commonplace. Nobody really doesn't get it with the alien thing because we've been programmed to accept they say it's a fact that because space is, in their words, infinite, then everything has to exist in infinity. It just has to. So therefore, there definitely are, or in their heliocentric bollocks universe, there would be all manner of different life forms, and some would be little green men from wherever. And we can talk about that now socially, and we're not ostracized or sent away to live on a small island somewhere like probably most flat earthers. Well, most people would like flat earthers to do, which is totally ridiculous because we're right. But so give it a time scale. See, at first, if you mentioned aliens, like I say, you were a loony. And right now, if you mention flat Earth, it's very similar response. But now people dress up like aliens in a fancy dress. You know, you couldn't go to a fancy dressed shop and there not be an alien costume. Of course there would. So timescale, give it minimum of 30 years. I would say it'll probably be happening in 10 or 15 years, and I hope it's a lot sooner. But because it won't go away, because I won't go away, and a lot of people like me will not shut up about this because we know we're right. We know we're right. There's no doubt in my mind and in thousands and probably millions now of people who have come to this realization. So we're just waiting for the tables to turn, the balance to be in our favour, and then something will have to be done about it, i.e. real maps drawn of our Earth, whatever that might be. And we want to be, when I say we, I mean well, the people who know need to be overlooking this in some method, in some way. So, like a representative of, I know it's quite difficult, but a representative of our knowledge should go with every expedition, not just one, lots of them. In fact, by then I'm hoping they'll all be looking for the same thing. They'll all know the same information as I do, as many of us do. And from that basis, then go on an expedition and do some what's it called, cartography, and film and photograph everything. Yeah. So, but until people actually come round to reality, now a lot of people don't live in what I consider to be reality. A stationary plane, that's where I live, static stationary plane. And that's where we all live, actually. But until everybody knows that, we can't really take it any further. So that's why we need to just carry on doing what we're doing. Now, people don't live, the globe believers, they do not live in reality. Their whole life is a sham, because they don't know where they live. They think they live on a spinning ball, which is total nonsense. So the whole grounding of their life is bullshit. And we know it affects people mentally because there's so much turmoil on Earth, and I'm sure if we had a true grounding, we would be less. There'll be less mental health issues anyway. I know. I remember. Was it? Anyway, I got this information from somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but there was a plot line in a soap, and I think it was Coronation Street. I haven't watched anything like that for years and years and years. But there was a person that nobody liked, and we're calling that person. Nobody liked. And he is an actor, and he played a character. Yet when he was walking down the street in, going shopping or something, doing something normal like we all have to do, he would get spat at and shouted at, and a lot of hatred coming his way. Now, that's very sad because, one, the guy didn't deserve it, but much more to the point is, who the hell do these people think that this other fella is? I mean, where are they at? Where are the heads at? If they think that this character is real. Oh dear. See, television is so influential. It is so such a powerful tool for the government or whoever to use on us, just like radio before that. But television is so much more, because the images that can be recorded by your subconscious are very powerful. Just like I was saying, switch the television on. Well, I would advise you to chuck your television out, actually. But if you have one, naughty, but if you do have one, see how long it is when you've turned it on before you see a sphere. Now, it may be during the adverts, if you're watching the commercial side, or it could be just a globe, the cartoon globe Earth plastic toy bullshit in the set, because I've noticed that that's where a lot of the programming can be put into a set. And now the director would know everything that's in that set, because that's his job. Everything on the lens side of the camera is the director's responsibility. So numerous films, dramas, whatever, they'll go to in somebody's house and they'll have a globe. Somebody's bedroom, they'll have a globe. Somebody's kitchen, there'll be a globe there. And I don't think I've ever had one in my house. I don't think so. Can't remember ever having one. But oh no, it's almost obligatory that there is a globe in these productions. Now, normally I'd be going, oh shit, I've just gone over 15 minutes, but I've just verified my site, so my channel. So that's a bit of a relief. And I've got to thank, I've just watched last night Beyond the Imaginary Curve, and I've got to thank Del again. What a fella, you know. And Gav, thank you very much just for being there, Gav. But thanks for running it all, Del, and you do a marvellous job. And I'll shut up now. See ya.